When you think about the main differences between professional athletics and college athletics, what comes to your mind? Typically, people would discuss the difference in experience that athletes have on a professional level compared to the collegiate level. Accordingly, they might mention how professional athletes get paid to play their sport while college athletes play solely because of their passion and love for the sport. While the first statement may stand true, one cannot say the same for the latter. The lives of college athletes across the country have completely changed. Athletes are now able to jumpstart their careers before they even think about facing the odds of making it to a professional level. All this is possible due to the introduction of NIL deals in the NCAA. The abbreviation NIL stands for Name, Image, and Likeness deals. Subsequently, they are paving the way for these young athletes. These deals are incredibly similar to how professional athletes, both current and former, land endorsement deals with major companies. Shaquille O'Neal is a perfect example of what NIL deals look like at a higher level. From his endorsement deals with the General to his deals with companies such as Burger King and Papa John's, he is a poster child for commercial athleticism. Now, college athletes can land deals such as those, only limited to a smaller pay scale. Even with the difference in pay, the large amount of compensation these athletes can now make from NIL is life-changing. In the following clip from the ABC News show Impact X Nightline, ESPN anchor Ryan Smith and former ESPN analyst Christy Dosh talk about how many college athletes are capitalizing on these new deals.
So those who already had large followings on Instagram or TikTok prior to July 1st were able to capitalize.
It's my turn now. Go for it.
They are the definition of using NIL to be an entrepreneur.
In many ways, they're like the Kardashians of college sports. Everybody wants to know about them.
On3, which estimates NIL earnings for athletics, says the Twins are pulling in more than $1.6 million a year, cashing in alongside other student stars, like LeBron James' son, high school baller Bronny James, Peyton and Eli Manning's nephew, quarterback Arch Manning, and social media megastar gymnast Olivia Dunn. And it's all because of 3 letters, NIL.
Still, plenty of people remain skeptical on the negative effects these deals may have on the image of college sports. The implementation of NCAA NILs could not have gotten off to a worse start, and they still have a long way to go before they are polished and perfected. To understand how these deals came to fruition, one must first go back to the case that started everything, NCAA versus Alston. The Alston case had a strong leg to stand on since it had precedents established in the O'Bannon v. NCAA case that took place from late 2014 to early 2015. Former college basketball player Ed O'Bannon is pictured here. O'Bannon filed an antitrust lawsuit against the NCAA on the premise that the NCAA's rules prohibited college athletes from receiving compensation for their NIL in commercial platforms violated antitrust laws. The U.S. Court District for the Northern District of California ruled in favor of O'Bannon. An injunction was issued that allowed colleges to provide scholarships covering the full cost of attendance but halted the outright payment to players for their NIL. While this case failed to result in the direct payment to college athletes for the use of their name in mainstream media, it did spark significant discussion and changes in NCAA rules and policies. Additionally, this newfound controversy led to an increase in college athletes' awareness on the subject. Arguably, the ex-running back for West Virginia, Sean Alston, who's pictured here, was one of the most influential college athletes when it came to progress in the legalization of NIL deals. Once again, another lawsuit was filed against the NCAA. Alston challenged the NCAA's rules that limited the benefits student athletes could receive to the cost coverage for tuition and room and board, and required athletic scholarships to be limited to these essentials. In 2021, the U.S. Supreme Court unanimously ruled against the NCAA and held that the restrictions on educated-related benefits violated antitrust laws by imposing overly restrictive limits on the compensation that could be offered to college athletes. Accordingly, the court emphasized that the NCAA could not justify the denial of compensation for student athletes on the basis of amateurism. While the decision did not completely dismantle the NCAA's model of amateurism, it signaled a shift in the legal landscape for prospective student athletes. The ruling did not address direct payments for NIL rights, but it contributed in an incredibly impactful way to the ongoing debate and legal challenges surrounding them. Currently, many athletes at the collegiate level are receiving NILs and seem to be coherently receiving many academic and personal benefits from them. Georgia runner Matthew Bowling has been very successful as a competitive athlete and has built a substantial social media platform for himself. Taco Bell reached out to Bowling and offered him a name, image, and likeness deal in 2021. In the next clip, he discusses how NIL deals have benefited his knowledge of business and even referenced them as being his version of an internship.
Yeah, the deals that I'm looking for, I don't want to take every deal that comes, stuff that I see myself kind of working with the brand long term and doing future stuff. So that's kind of been the biggest thing for me and my agency. And they know that when they come and approach me with deals. So yeah, that is interesting too, how I can bring kind of the knowledge that I'm gaining from working with these brands into my marketing courses. Because a lot of other students, I feel like do internships and stuff, but this is like kind of how I do my internships.
Not only is Matthew receiving financial compensation for his partnership, but he is also becoming accustomed to the ins and outs of how his college degree will be employed in the real U.S. business market. LSU's women's basketball player Angel Reese has become one of the most widely known college athletes in the U.S. as of recent, due to her assistance in leading the team to its recent national victory. Because of this, she has received several high-value NIL deals, including one from the prestigious purse manufacturer Coach. According to SportingNews.com, in addition to endorsing the famed purse outfitter, Reese's deal also allowed her to gift her teammates with some leather backpacks earlier in the season.
Get the bag and fumble it, I get the bag and flip it and tumble it. Straight off the lot, 300 cash, and the car came with a blunt in it. Lil' mama a thot, and she got ass, and she gon' fuck up a bag. Pull up to the spot, living too fast, dropping the dope in the stash. In Italy, got too foreign hoes, they DM me. Draw at the top, when it's cold, but you feel the heat.
So many of you guys know that I work with Coach, and I've always wanted to incorporate you guys in the NIL deal. So I think that right now is a good time since we're in February and we're all in our bag. So I got all of us a bag. Period.
We're all in our bag.
It is vital to realize that these NIL deals have impacts beyond an increase in an athlete's bank account. They allow student athletes to do things for themselves and their loved ones that many individuals can only dream about doing. Yet, despite the advantages, there is still much stigma that surrounds this notion. In one instance, Nick Saban, the football coach for the University of Alabama and one of the best college coaches in history, told a relatively large crowd that Texas A&M bought its #1 ranked recruiting class. This led the Aggies athletic director to write to the SEC in an attempt to get Saban suspended for his outlandish remarks. College coaches aren't the only people who were recently speaking out about their dislike of these deals. In March of this year, NBA Hall of Famer Charles Barkley shared his thoughts on these new deals during a 60-minute interview on CBS.
What do you make of the college game today?
It's a travesty and a disgrace. I'm so mad now how we can mess up something that's so beautiful.
How do we mess it up?
We can't pay all these players.
Translation: Barkley hates the new Wild West of college sports, where players go to the schools that can bid the highest.
In the next 3 to 5 years, we're going to have 25 schools that's going to dominate the sports because they can afford players. And these schools who can't afford or won't pay players are going to be irrelevant.
Although not everyone agrees with Barkley and his opinions that these deals are wrong, they cannot deny that what he said regarding the future of the NCAA and collegiate sports over the following years is already beginning to come true. In summary, introducing NIL deals in college athletics marks a pivotal moment reshaping the student-athlete landscape. Legal battles, notably NCAA v. Alston, have propelled this transformative shift, enabling athletes to monetize their passion and skills earlier on in their careers. These legal precedents, including the earlier O'Bannon v. NCAA case, challenge the traditional notions of amateurism. Now we have collegiate athletes like Matthew Bowling, Angel Reese, and many others who are gaining the tangible benefits of NIL deals, extending beyond financial compensation to offer invaluable insight into the business world. Bowling's comparison of NIL deals to internships highlights their educational value, preparing athletes for the complexities of the professional realm. However, amidst these positive strides, controversies persist. Tensions among NCAA coaches like Nick Saban and criticisms from public figures like Charles Barkley highlight some of the challenges of adapting to this new era of collegiate sports. These debates mirror the ongoing evolution and adjustment required to implement NIL deals. As collegiate sports navigate these new and uncharted waters, the impact of NIL deals extend beyond finance, promising to redefine the dynamics between athletes, educational institutions, and the sports industry. The challenges and debates surrounding NIL deals signify an enormous shift, shaping the future of student athletes in the collegiate sports landscape in unprecedented ways. Whether you believe these deals should stay or go, it has become clear that they are here to stay and won't be leaving anytime soon.